This is the Experienced Optimist. I want to talk about some principles that will help you on your journey to becoming Mgtow. Some time ago, I read this article on a website called The Maverick Traveler. And this article was titled How to Be a Man. And it was 7 principles that you need in life if you want to become a real man. So I took some notes down. I thought this was a pretty important article written by a guy named see if I remember correctly, James Maverick. And I thought, man, these principles would be perfect if applied to Mgtow. So let me get started. So number 1, a man must know how to cook. Pretty basic, right? A man must know how to cook. I would go further and say a man must know how to cook and clean and ultimately be self-sufficient. I'm going to tell you why. The game that a lot of women will play and society will play on you as a man, young man, old man, but especially young men, is that they don't want you to be self-sufficient. Because if you are self-sufficient, it's hard for them to put you on the pussy plantation. Because you know how to do everything for yourself already. Pretty much don't need the government for anything. You don't need women for anything. So what a woman will do, as an example, she will cook for you. She'll clean for you. And she'll rope you in because you'll get used to her doing all the stuff for you. And once you get used to her doing all the stuff for you, cooking, cleaning, doing the small things around the house, she'll say, hey, wait a minute, Brian, if you want me to continue doing this, you're going to have to do A, B, and C for me. And because you're not self-sufficient enough, because you can't stand on your own 2 feet, before long, she'll be telling you what to do, manipulating you and controlling you in your own life. So basically, number 1, a man knows how to cook. Take it one step further, a man knows how to be self-sufficient. That's number 1. Okay. So what's number 2? Number 2 is a man needs a plan. This is very, very important. When I was younger, I didn't have a plan. I kind of had like a guide of what I wanted to do. Okay. Wanted to travel. So I started traveling some time ago. I knocked that off my bucket list. Wanted to write, I started writing. Knocked that off my bucket list. But it wasn't until I started creating plans that my life started to change a little bit. And I'm still not the best at plans. So that's how I know how important a plan really is. I wrote some notes down that said, all successful men, whether they live in their home country or abroad, have a plan. Having a plan helps a man stay true to his core values. Having a plan reminds a man why he's doing what he's doing. Having a plan keeps a man sane during a time of distress and desperation. And that's key. Because in life, with so many people blue pill, with so many people trying to put you on the pussy plantation, people trying to control you, having a plan sets you apart and allows you essentially a better way to be Mgtow, to go your own way. So that's number 2. A man needs a plan. Number 3, a man must not complain. Now, we all know those guys that complain all the time. We don't like being around them. The thing is, you can complain, but the key here is that you don't let complaining control your whole life. I wrote a note down here. It says, complaining is a symptom of the larger problem. Your inability to make life work for you instead of the other way around. Now, I was listening to David Goggins in an interview the other day, and I'm going to leave a link to that video. And in his interview, he talked about living life on your own terms. Basically, great core Mgtow principles. And in that video, he talked about complaining. So I'm going to leave a link down in the video so you can check it out. Trust me, you'll love it. So number 3, real men don't complain. Okay. So number 4, a man must live life on his own terms. This is essential. It's basically Mgtow. A real man knows the value of his allegiance and carefully chooses where to place it for the maximum benefit. Basically, if you go Mgtow, live life on your own terms, you won't get put on the pussy plantation. It's harder for people to control you. It's harder for people to tell you what to do, because you already know deep down in your core what's really valuable to you. A real man is always in control because he effectively creates his own reality and doesn't let someone else hijack his beliefs and convictions. That includes society, and that includes women. Living on your own terms means freedom. Freedom equates to power and control means your life. So when you live life on your own terms, not only are you gaining freedom, you're gaining your life back. While we're young as men, they try to instill those blue pill values in us. But when you decide to live life on your own terms, you say, look, I'm going to take my life back. I'm going to go my own way, and I'm going to find my own freedom. John from Mgtow's Freedom, he talks about that. He says, yeah, basically Mgtow is freedom. Going your own way is freedom. And I would advise any man to go check out his videos and his channel. It's a great channel. All right. So live life on your own terms. All right, so where are we at? We're at number 5. A man must seduce. All right? So a man must know how to seduce women. And it's not that PUA nonsense, seduce women. A man learns how to seduce women for 2 reasons. I wrote them down here. 1, seduction enables a man to learn what he truly wants from women, and through experience helps him decide what type of woman he wants in his life. And this is key. So many guys will just let any woman into their life. Before they know it, they got a mortgage they don't want. They got kids they don't want. They got a wife that they don't want. He's being controlled. He's working 60, 70 hours of work. And he's a workhorse. He's on a pussy plantation. You do not want to be that guy. More importantly, seduction helps you learn female nature. You learn that you can have a loving wife, and then she goes out one night and she can be seduced by another person, just as you probably seduced a woman in your life that probably had another partner. It gives you kind of a key insight into female behavior. And that helps you better go your own way. Number 2, through seduction, the man learns how to properly satisfy the woman he chooses to have in his life. Now, the thing is, with satisfying a woman, and this is a key principle you'll learn through seduction, is that you can never really satisfy a woman forever. Seduction is only temporary. It doesn't last forever. But through seduction, you become comfortable with power. And you can communicate your desire as well as satisfy the desires of the women you're with. Well, at least temporarily. All right, so number 5, a man knows how to seduce. Now, number 6, men are emotional rocks. This is also key. We live in a gynocentric world, basically a world that caters to women. And now we see that in this world, they want to make men as emotional as women. And the reason why they want to do that is because when a man is emotional like a woman, he's easier to control. He's easier to put on that pussy plantation. But when a man is an emotional rock, I have in the notes here, it says, a real man doesn't believe in small setbacks and fights through to the end for a cause he truly believes in. A real man provides a much needed stability and gravity to others whose life is in complete disarray. And this is key here, because there's a lot of men, a lot of blue pill men, a lot of men in general, where their lives are in complete disarray. But when you go Mgtow and you live life on your own terms and you have a plan and you're emotional rock, you see where you're going and you won't be deterred. So that's the key here. Real men are emotional rocks. Okay. All right, so let's see. Number 7. The last one, and a very important one. Real men are loyal and reliable. I cannot tell you how many men nowadays are flaky, unreliable. I mean, just the other day, I asked this guy to give me a hand with something, and he said he was going to give me a hand with something, and then the dude disappeared and acted like he was doing some other type of work. It's like, if you are a man and you say you're going to do something, do it. There's too many flaky guys out here right now. And those are the same blue pill men that will be put on the pussy plantation. Why? Because women can more easily manipulate guys like this. The flaky guys. Those flaky guys are generally those nice guys too. So I have some notes here. It says, surround yourself with loyal men and reciprocate with your own undivided and uncompromised loyalty. And this is true. Keep the men in your life that are good friends. Keep those guys in your life, man. So many men get with women, and then the women convince these guys to get rid of all the men that were loyal, that were there, had their back for years upon years, and then they replace them with blue pill men that would capitulate to their wives. Then you're on the pussy plantation with no help. See, what society does, the reason why there's so many men fighting each other, all this racial nonsense and all that bullshit, is because society wants to alienate men. They don't want men to come together and think about their situation and say, you know what, man? I think we're on some sort of plantation. They don't want that. They want men that are not loyal and not reliable. Those flaky type guys, that will get rid of the good men in their life so that they can be easily swayed and put on the pussy plantation. So keep that in mind, man. Real men are loyal and reliable. So that's pretty much it. Those are just 7 principles I thought I would share. If you like this information, give it a thumbs up. Like, subscribe, check out other Mgtow channels. Remember, gentlemen, this is not about race, color, or creed. This is about helping men, all men, go their own way. Talk to you later. This is the